So picking up where we ran out of film, if you're trying to go really big, like a world record, like David Small, for example, you can definitely come in with your shoulders back, and there's not much movement of your shoulders having to move forward, because you want to be here a little shoulders back when you hit that ramp to get the full extension push off the ramp. What my problem with this is, from a learning perspective, is it's really hard to handle those big jumps. If you come in with your shoulders back here, you have no choice but to get a lot of push from the ramp, and it's going to throw you into the air. And when you're learning, it's nice to go 65, 70 feet. It's a little easier to land, a little easier to handle till you get used to it. So the only way to do that, to not go world record distance when you approach this way, is to lunge, to move your shoulders over your feet as you approach the ramp. And to me, this movement is very hard to be consistent in your timing, because you're coming in like this, and you're doing this as you come in, basically trying not to go so far because that ramp throws you. So my technique, I take this completely out of the equation. Let's take this axis out of the things that can go wrong. What I'm going to do is set my shoulders a little bit forward for a little bit of a shorter jump. So I set here, I call this my setup position. I get really comfortable skiing around like this, and then I do a slow, smooth raise to get to the position at the top of the ramp we're all looking for. So all I do is simply this. And if my timing's off a little bit and I'm early, I might go a little taller and too tall, and that's a little bit of the risk if you fully extend before you get there. But your other risk is that you don't do enough and you're a little short on your raise. But that variable, you can be a little off. If you're off on this just a hair, you do it a little too early, you're going to kick out of the ramp real early. So you don't know if you're going to really catch a lot of ramp or trip over the ramp. So I set those shoulders coming in. I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to catch a third of the ramp, or I'm going to catch a half of the ramp. If I want to go further, I do that same setup position, but I bring my shoulders back a little bit and do that same rise. I want to go further, my setup position, the shoulders are a little bit further back, and I do that same rise, bringing that handle up with me. So really the difference is, we all want to get to this at the top of the ramp. Some people get there by moving their shoulders that way. Some people sit here and do their shoulders this way. So I do my raise in this axis, where a lot of people these days are doing it in this axis. I find this more consistent, easier. I can control, do I want to go short distance? Do I want to go further? Do I want to go further? And I can control how much of the ramp I'm going to use based on my setup position and my approach. And the raise is very consistent. That raise, the pace of the raise, nice, slow, and smooth. That pace of the raise never changes. And I take out this variable of moving those shoulders. So I just wanted to share a little bit of the difference of how I learned to jump inverted, how it's being taught now. Not to say that that's wrong, but I find the way I learned and the way I did it a little easier to go shorter of a distance instead of having to lunge to make sure you don't go too far. You can control that a little better. So I hope that helps someone out, and good luck.